Hi there, my name is Kendrick and welcome to Travel and Live Free. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of the best travel cameras that you can get if you plan on traveling. And that video is going to come up right now. Before I talk about some of the best cameras that you can get for travel, I'm gonna start off by talking about cameras that you should not get. Because I made a lot of mistakes when I personally traveled and have regretted to bring certain cameras with me for various different reasons. So first, you wanna avoid bringing a DSLR camera or mirrorless camera or any big cameras unless you are a professional or hobbyist photographer or videographer. And the reason for that is because bringing a DSLR and even a mirrorless, even though it's smaller than a DSLR, is way too bulky and you're gonna get annoyed and you will probably just leave it in your accommodation because it's so annoying to bring out. Having to fidget with the lenses kind of destroys the moment because sometimes you're trying to get that great shot and because you're trying to put your camera together, by the time you're ready to take a picture or make a video, then that shot is gone. So really, it's really annoying and cumbersome to bring a big camera, especially a camera that requires you to put lenses on it. However, if you are a professional or a hobbyist, then feel free to bring those because chances are you do know how to use those cameras and you're okay with the hassle of having the bulk. Now, the first category of cameras that people are probably gonna bring with them when they travel is their mobile phone. And that's perfectly fine because mobile phones these days are getting so much better. And the first category that we're gonna look at is phones for photography. And for that, I think the Google Pixel series is the best for picture taking. Now, if you wanna capture videos and if you wanna capture videos on 4K or at least 1080p, then I think the Samsung Galaxy series or the iPhone series is better for video because I use the Google Pixel itself and the video is okay, it's not bad, but I think when my sister uses her Samsung Galaxy, it's so much better. So if you plan on making videos, then I think you should go the iPhone or Samsung Galaxy route. Now, if you do want to buy a camera, I think the good budget camera to get is the Canon G7X Mark II. So there is a Mark III out right now, but the autofocus is horrible. And one of the important factors when it comes to picking the right camera is making sure that the autofocus is good. Autofocus means that when you put the camera on you, you're not blurry. It sharpens you right away. And the problem with a lot of the older cameras is their autofocus is not the best. So G7X Mark II, it doesn't have the best autofocus, but it's better than the Mark III's autofocus. And it's also pretty decent at low light settings as well as taking pictures. I think this camera costs around $699 if you were to buy it right now. They do go on sale during Black Friday, but right now they are about 699 Canadian dollars. Now, if you want to bring something that is much nicer and much newer, then you can look into getting the Sony RX100 Mark VII or the Sony Zv1. So those two cameras are relatively new. The Sony RX7 came out in 2019 and the Zv1 came out last year in 2020. Now, the Sony Zv1 is very good for vloggers. So if you want to make videos specifically, then it's really good. It's very good at low light setting because of that f1.8. And also the price is $999, which is very good for a new camera that's portable. It also has a hot shoe mount on the top. So you can put a shotgun microphone on the top and do your vlog that way. I personally use a Sony RX100 Mark VII because I like the zoom range of it. So the zoom for this point and shoot camera goes all the way to 200 millimeters. And that's so amazing because one of the things that I like to do when I travel is look at wildlife or taking a video and a picture from far distance. And the fact that this allows you to zoom that far really makes a huge difference. I also don't like having cumbersome cameras. And one of the things that I noticed when I traveled was that point and shoot was perfect for me. When I went backpacking for a year, I used the G7X Mark I and it was almost perfect except for that crappy autofocus. But now with this RX100 Mark VII, the autofocus is amazing. It's so quick and it's so good, as well as that zoom that allows me to take far distance picture and videos. There is also an external mic input for both the RX100 and the Zv1. And the good thing about having an external input, you can put your own microphone there and you can put a dead cat also to capture any wind noises. That way, when you make a video vlog, there's no wind noise when you're talking. The next category on this list are action cameras, and I personally think action cameras are a must when it comes to traveling. As a matter of fact, if you can only bring one camera, I wouldn't be opposed to just bringing an action camera. So action cameras are GoPros as well as the DJI Osmo Action. Now, they made a new GoPro Hero 9 last year, and what's really good about it is that it's the first model where GoPro put a screen in the front of the camera, so if you're making a video of yourself, you can see yourself on the screen. It is a bit pricey at $529, but I think the quality that you get with the GoPro is worth that big price tag that you're gonna pay. If you don't want to pay that $529 for a GoPro Hero 9, they also have the DJI Action, which is the first action camera that put that front-facing screen so you can see yourself, and it's almost as good as a Hero 9. As a matter of fact, if they make it DJI Osmo Action 2, I think it's probably gonna beat the GoPro series. So it's just a matter of time before GoPro gets overtaken. The fifth cameras on the list, and this one is totally optional, and that's gonna be drones. So drones are really popular now. The only problem with drones is that a lot of countries don't let you bring it in their country. So it does add a layer of hassle when you are traveling, because you have to make sure that the country that you're going to allows you to bring a drone with you. With that being said, I do have a drone myself. I use the DJI Mavic Air. I use the Part 1. They have a Part 2 now, which is even better, but most people will either get the DJI Mavic Air, Mavic Pro, or the Mavic Mini. The good thing with the Mavic Mini is that their weight is below 250 grams, so that oftentimes it's not illegal for you to bring that drone in many countries. The problem is that if you've ever flown a drone, it's really scary when the wind is strong because your drone gets flown away. I almost lost my drone a few times because it was so windy. So you do have to take consideration the weight of the drone can prevent it from flying away from you. So like I said, when you are buying a camera for travel, the most important thing for you to consider is the ease of use, because if it's so cumbersome and big, then you're not going to use it. Portability is also a big problem. So if you have a camera that you can easily put in your pocket, then chances are you're going to bring it out with you. It's also easy when you're going through immigration, where when you have a portable camera, you stick it in your bag and then you're good to go. The other thing to keep in mind when it comes to buying a camera is also stabilization. So you want to make sure that when you have a camera, it's not shaky. So you want a camera with good stabilization. The ones I mentioned today all have fairly decent stabilization, which is a good thing. Autofocus is another good one, where it would focus on you instead of focusing on something else in the background. You don't want yourself to be blurry on the video instead of the background being blurry. You want it to be the other way around. And the last thing to consider is also zoom, because if you're traveling and you want to zoom in, if you don't have a camera with good zoom, you're not going to be able to capture that shot that you want. So those are the big factors that you want to consider when buying a new camera when it comes to traveling. Anyways, that's about it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your comments below, and don't forget to sign up to our Travel and Free newsletter, where you can get a 10-step cheat sheet on how to travel around the world. You'll also get the latest tips and strategies on how to save money on travel for Canadians, how to go on around the world adventure travel for Canadians, and how to use travel to get more freedom in your life as a Canadian. You can sign up for that newsletter in the description below. Until next time, I'll see you then.